Man, what's up YouTube, man? I'm back with another video. In this video, we just gonna be talking about, listen, you gotta smile. Now, don't be weird, you know what I'm saying? Because a smile could really be either an invite or it could be an invite, you know what I'm saying? It could be like the creepy guy like in every horror movie or some shit like that. So you wanna just be mindful to, like I said in the other video about the 3 second rule, you kind of want to just give yourself a mantra or some type of word, phrase, or something that you could say to yourself that enlightens you on a spiritual level. Now, when you do that, simply said, you're going to cross paths with women. That's just life. That's just fucking life, fellas. You're gonna do that. Now, when you cross paths with these women, I'm making a product called Sequence, right? I'm working on it right now. Product called Sequence because just like a chess game, just like cards, Uno, any any game on the planet, the people who really get good, Mortal Kombat, I referenced that in the product. You know, you got to do combinations. Excuse me. You gotta do sequences. You gotta do combinations of moves. Even in UFC, when I played that game, I mean, there isn't a game really alive where you don't gotta press buttons in sequence to make something happen, right? Almost like a magic trick. But same thing is ironic, right? It's same thing with making a female feel something, because what's ironic and what I find in the game that's really weird, you know what I'm saying? When you go from not knowing the game to knowing something, it's like you were a one-dimensional thinker the whole time. You always thought like, okay, I'm just gonna go up to my crush and I'm gonna tell her I like her, and or I think she's cute or this that. You got that little kid Rizz. It never dies, right? That little kid Rizz, it never dies. You never grow the fuck up. You never actually got game. You know what I'm saying? You never got game to the point where it's like, damn, he's really dynamic. You know what I'm saying? The stuff he say, the way he think. You know what I'm saying? He's well studied. You know what I'm saying? He studies himself. You know what I'm saying? So when I talk to him, it's like he's able to just talk seamlessly and flow. You know what I'm saying? Ebb and flow, you know what I'm saying? Just give it and go, you know what I'm saying? He just know how to talk, and it's like left hand, right hand, yin and yin. It's like you gotta know how to talk, but then you gotta know how to also, you could say walk the walk, but like make her laugh, make her smile, make her, different things, make her come, make her think, you know what I'm saying? Make her feel sensitive, you know what I'm saying? Senses, one of my mentors I listen to always talk about the roller coaster, put her on a roller coaster of emotions. You know what I'm saying? I always tell y'all, download feelings charts because it's good to know what type of feeling you're feeling. Because it could be subtle feelings too that humans typically we be on autopilot, right? We got a subconscious. So this is beautiful how it works. You got your feelings and you got hers, right? It takes two to tangle. So when you're dealing with a female, you want to understand that it's two people here. Us guys, we get so selfish, and how we grow up in America kind of in a way teaches you to focus on yourself, focus on your school, focus on your work, this, that, and the third. What ends up happening is you lose touch with humanity. You know what I'm saying? A big part of the sauce, the game, is emotional intelligence. So your emotional intelligence will rise, right? The more you learn the game. And it's funny because what you want to do is understand that uh, life is a cycle. Everything works like this. Like I said, excuse me. So you want to understand that combinations and sequences, right? This is the product I'm coming up with. I'm probably gonna make a book called Game Like, Game Like Will. But sequences, right? One, two, three, four, five. A mentor I listen to also always says, I bet on myself. I bet on myself. Wow. Isn't that what we do as men? We bet on ourselves, we believe in ourselves. Those two things go hand in hand. So when you see a female you like and you say to yourself, you could take many different outlooks on that female. You could say, wow, there she goes. You could be on autopilot. What? Wow, there she goes. Oh shit. Mesmerized. Or you can handle your emotions and look at it objectively and be like, there she go. Oh shit, it's time for me to eat. Let me go ahead and see what I'm gonna hit her with. Because remember, I bet on myself. Now, everybody don't think like that, but I'm just showing you that that's a different mind frame that you could take on. That could it can illuminate you. It give you eyesight, vision. You know, certain perspectives lend you more vision. So basically, in that moment, it's still gonna boil down to what the fuck you about to say, and that's why my new product sequence is gonna be so important. That's probably gonna be my favorite product because it's the game in a nutshell, right? You can't play any game or know any game without sequences. Now, of course, you can learn a couple Rizz lines and you could still be one dimensional, but still be also like, faking it till you making it type deal. And you can get dates. You can't have women come over, right? But what I found is disorder is not good. Even in, like, I'm a lifestyle coach first. Like, disorder is not good even in life. So a wise man once said, how you do anything is how you do everything. I think Kevin Gates said that. And that's facts. How you do anything is how you do everything. So if I'm a lifestyle dating coach and I give y'all half-ass information on dating, then that means I'm a half-ass lifestyle coach and I'm a half-ass everything else. And to give y'all holistic information, I'm gonna give y'all a game that I actually take to my own heart. Like, I'm gonna give y'all a game that, for me personally as a man, this is how I move. Like, I literally play chess when I see a female I want, like, or that I fancy. You know what I'm saying? I keep it all um conversation, and then Kino is something that kind of comes like within the mix of the, like, it can happen in the first 5 seconds, touching her or whatever. You could even open up the conversation with a touch, but that's it's not too advanced, but it's not advanced at all. It just depends if you want to adopt that opener and start to use it now. It just depends what you want to do. And so I'm trying to basically say nothing is really weird. The funny thing is, if you think you're weird, you're weird. That's how the laws of the universe work. So learning this game and learning the stuff I'm teaching will literally rid you from bad, because bad is, if you think you're bad, if you feel bad, then you are bad. That's the laws of the universe. If you feel good, you think you're good, then you are good. Kind of like church. It has more to do with the way the person feels and the vibration that you're in. You know what I'm saying? So listen, you wanna when you think about sequence, you want to think of a concoction. You want to think of, like, when I run into this female, I'm gonna probably do about 5 to 10 moves, cause I fancy her. But when I see her, I'm doing these moves despite whatever she do. Now, obviously, you gotta have contingency plans for if she A shows a lack of interest, B maybe she's shy. Cause remember, it's not always a lack of interest. It could sincerely be um what you call it. She could just be giving you a lack of, like, intensity. Like, she's not even in the headspace that you're in. Y'all are crossing paths. She's probably coming from school. You're coming from just like making a YouTube video. Like, those are two different worlds. So like she's literally minding her business. So when you open her up and say how you doing, one of the simplest openers you could use, she might just say, "Oh, I'm doing good," because she thinking like, "Okay, that's all he got." She's a good worthy opponent. She's like, "That's all he got. He hit me with that before. He's not gonna say nothing else." But think about it. It's not to that day that you take that shit on one more level higher that she really get the chance to really observe the lay of the land of the type of guy you are, because she don't know shit about you how you don't know shit about her. But on that second level, say you say something and you're like, "Oh, you seem like you mad shy for real, like you always to yourself." I could tell you like to yourself, like, and stuff like that. Say you say something like that, like, now you just tweaked the molecular structure. I'm speaking in science terms for you guys. I'm kind of like that, but you just changed the fucking atom. You changed the nucleus of what's going on. And so technically, whether she likes you, don't like you, or whatever she thinks or feels, because it's all emotion, and emotions are emotions. She's gonna leave that interaction knowing that you had the nuts to do that, to push it. Now you didn't. Now remember, when we talk about sequence, which is the product I'm building, that mean that you already kind of, before even talking to her, knew that you were going to have an end goal in mind. Like, okay, I'm going to try to at least say you, okay, let me give you an example. Say you don't get her number, say you don't get her Instagram, and say you don't push that shit to any type of close. But say you have a close that comes before the close. So this is for my guys out there. Maybe you got a girl in your neighborhood or something, and you may know her a little bit or something, but you don't really want to close it, because it's like, it's really no point to really like put your chips on the table with her, because it's like you got other bitches, maybe you got other things going on. So it's like, in that scenario, you could close it in an alternative way. Like you could just say some shit that establishes, like, first of all, I'm gonna give you two examples. It's how you're gonna talk to her, and how many basically how many minutes you're gonna get from her. Almost like a YouTube video. Like I seen a PUA video yesterday. Someone talking about this. Like they basically knew the rate and how many hours it took them to get to sex. And it's funny because you might feel awkward speaking this way, but it's literally everything on this planet is time. Period. Everything is time. So the fact that she's talking to you or even responding to you is a good, it's a green flag. It's a green flag. All you have to do is carry that shit, and don't fucking drop that shit on the floor and mess it up. And the way you do that is by being interesting. And the way you be interesting is by literally just knowing what the fuck you think is interesting. Because me personally, I'm giving y'all my game. Like when I'm talking to a female, I'm literally thinking to myself, like, what sounds dope to me? Like what's gamed up to me? What's Rizz to me? I don't give a fuck what, because she's gonna fall in line if I think what I'm saying is fire. So if I think what I'm saying is fire, win, lose, or draw, I'm going with trust. I'm trusting me. I love myself, bro. Like I don't got girls like way before her, so it would not matter a damn if she didn't fuck with me. So it's like that's the type of, how can I say, that's the frequency. Like the frequency is, it's all going this way. It's all like, and that's attractive to a woman because all my energy is going this way. Like it's not going, it's not stopping, it's not stationed, it's not waiting. I'm just talking to you because I happen to cross paths with you. And because I cross paths with you, I'm saying some shit. Now you could take this shit or you could leave it, but she's gonna get that air of mystery from me. Like, damn, this nigga really all in one motion. Like he's talking to me, and that's what make a female really catch wind to a nigga. Like in their mind, they're like, I gotta kind of captivate or capsule. I gotta encapsulate this nigga because he's moving too fast. And he is kind of attractive because remember what you're saying. It's many different ways to stimulate a woman in conversation. Remember, I told you about all the chess pieces on the chessboard. You could just make her. You could say, when I walk up to her, I'm gonna make sure I make her laugh in the sequence. Within the sequence, I'm gonna say 5 things, but one of them gonna make her laugh. So I'm gonna open her. Then I might cold read her by telling her something about herself. Then I may do a push pull, may do banter, and then I may do a what you call it, what I just said, make her laugh. That's 5 things, but these things all hit on stimulation. They all stimulate. All 5 of them stimulate. And openers naturally stimulate because it's like, oh shit. You know what I'm saying? So opener naturally stimulates, but it's what you do after that opener, the 5 moves after that one move in sequence. Because remember, it's all about the sequence. The more battles you win, the AKA sequences, the more the war you win. So the product secret sequence is going to be so important because most guys are running game, but they're doing it and they're robotic with it, or either they're pretty much robotic with it. They're one dimensional. They're not in one. They're not in motion. They're not thinking about all the little details on the chessboard. Like, okay, if I'm in Target or Starbucks, I could be body rocking while I'm in line next to this baddie right here. And then I could do my approach, but still be body rocking. Or I could just hit her with an opener. Like, damn, they packed in here right now. What's good with this place, man? I don't know what's wrong with them, man. I don't know. But then go into some other shit right there off the rip. Soon as she laugh or say some shit, right? Because making it natural. I'm easing it in there. A lot of y'all favorite YouTubers do that all the time. I can start naming people. I'm not gonna name nobody. People I watched. You know what I'm saying? They just that's what it is. Casual conversation. Then they lead it into the I do YouTube. Da, 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 da. You should get on the camera with me. We could go back to my place. Da 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 da. Closing it. It's closing the deal because they had it in their mind that they bet on themselves that their last move, their close, was gonna be a YouTube video. So knowing your opens, knowing what you want to close for, and then everything in between could be anything really. But you're not going to trust the stuff in the middle because it's going to feel disorderly unless you use the chess piece analogy. Because for me personally, that's when I noticed that it's easier for me. I need structure, bro. I can't just like be taught something without structure. I need, okay, I'm moving the pawn. Oh, I'm opening. Okay, I'm hitting her with an opener, but then I'm hitting her with another opener. So that's 2 pawns. Because I watched a Rizz video earlier. Somebody went up to talk to a female. She kind of took her earphone out, looked at him crazy. That he had to reopen her. So that's 2 openers. Then he went into something else. You know what I'm saying? Conversation to me is still flirting. So I call that the queen. So I still use the queen covers so many things for me. But the bishop covers cold reading. The bishop covers the I forgot the other thing. It's another thing the bishop covers. I'm gonna have to get back to y'all on that. But um I already told y'all the knight is for nags and push pull and like banter and shit like that. And then the queen is for just flirtation and sexual tension. So if you look, I tell y'all, my middle name should be Flirt. It should be Willard Flirt, my last name. Because listen, that's all the guys that I seen getting all the females was doing all the time. Little bit of frame control, a little bit of witty remarks, like she say something, he say something witty back. That's banter though, right? That's banter. Whenever you hear the word witty, you gotta compare that with banter. You know what I'm saying? And so, but the flirting. The flirting is what really gets the women invested. Invested. You know what I'm saying? And you got to use sequences. And when you communicate with women, you got to use sequences. You might hit her with a phone call. You might hit her with a text. Then you might hit her with a voicemail. Then you might hit her with some. You switching that shit up like a machine, like you just rotating it because a lot of women, what they'll do, they'll stall you. They instead of them just going on a date with you or linking with you, which they will do. But say like I had a chick the other day. She wanted to go to the movies, but I told her like nah, like we gonna do something else. She basically said, okay, well I'll get back to you or some shit like that. So I told her like, yo, don't keep me, you know what I'm saying? Don't keep me waiting. I'm worth the rush. That's what I told her. I'm worth the rush, right? So she texted me back. You know, I could tell she really liking everything I'm saying because she like, even though she tried to like hit me with the low interest type of vibe, she couldn't do it because the way I'm talking to her. But what happens is that what you call it? Fuck, I forgot. But nah, I'm about to end this video on that note. Let me know what y'all got from this video. Y'all about to start having to call me Flirt or the Flirt. You know what I'm saying? That might be my new YouTube name because that shit right there. It just fits me because let me tell you why. Before I put this on y'all to do that. I mean, it's just thorough, first of all. Second of all, uh, like I said, it encapsulates my game because there's many different levels to game, but flirt, it came to me when I was in the hallway thinking, and it just makes sense, bro. Like I said, every influence I ever had, they was a flirty motherfucker, and they'll flirt with a female so much in school that it would just you wouldn't know if he was smashing or not because all you knew was he was a flirting motherfucker. So you wouldn't even know if he was really smashing because he was just a flirting motherfucker. And I feel like that's if any trait was to be what I'm building or having or whatever, or that I lean on, it would be flirting for sure. So any client or anybody who come to me and want to learn how to have game, they're probably gonna that's gonna be probably your strong suit for real. So always gonna be flirting with me because I feel like flirting is so fucking dynamic. Again, it's the queen on the chessboard, so it's just like that shit